No,
it
that
was
wasn't
going
the
to bring
problem,
any
right?
results.
So interesting.
Yes, and every day for the first, I'd say the first 3 or 4 days, as I recall, I felt pretty headachy and toxic and had a lot of gurgling in my gut. No, the worms did not crawl out my butt. I never saw them.
What was it?
Oh,
Do
no,
they actually? Was that tapeworm?
I've heard about that.
I've heard about that too.
I've heard about that, but I think
I wasn't thinking that. But then when I
the
saw
immune system got supported in like.
Were you freaked out? I would have been freaked the fork
I
out.
was
I would have been like, holy. I know, but when you got caught, like the word tapeworm.
I know. Well, I used to say, the power of the word. I used to say, because I was fat, I need a good. I just needed a good one.
Oh my God! You gotta watch what you're saying.
That's why the word is the second of my 9.
Yeah, of the 9 components.
Because we do talk trash to ourselves, and
yeah.
the word becomes flesh. But I actually remember saying
God.
It's like, I know. I mean, it's really powerful.
That is powerful. I just need tapeworm. Well, there you go. Not everybody gets one, but there.
Well, all prayers are answered.
Right. Be careful what we say.
We do get to say how it goes. So anyway, I took this product called Parax for about 2 weeks, and what I noticed was I felt really toxic for the first few days, but it was nothing compared to the, drop to my knees with cramps in my back. I took that product for 2 weeks. That was 1988. I have never had more than just a little bit of tension in my back that I can get rid of with some rubber balls and some breathing and maybe some enzymes.
Nothing at
Since
all.
then.
That's crazy.
So, of course, it changed my life, but it answered that question, how am I going to know what people really need? So I spent the next year or so getting on airplanes and flying to where these handful of doctors who were really good at what they did. I've taken all kinds of kinesiology.
So kinesiologist doctors, is it a genre, kinesiology?
It is, and I'm not sure that I want to name the particular brand of it.
Right, but
because I studied so many, but it was the one that people say, well, I've done muscle testing, or I go to someone who does muscle testing, or I've used a pendulum, but I don't trust it. Well, they shouldn't, because they're really superficial. It was the most amazing technique. I'll tell you what it was. It was called clinical kinesiology. Alan Beardall, chiropractor, discovered.
Oh, discovered. Yeah.
Well, George Goodhart.
Well, Goodhart.
In the 60s,
did he discover?
He's the one who found out. He was a chiropractor, and he found out when he was working on people, he would test their muscles, because that's one of the things you do.
And when you say test muscles, just so people.
Well, you can test to see
meaning resistance, right?
Exactly, whether they are intact and they engage, or whether they're weak. So you can test any muscle in the body.
So if I say my name is Debi Salzberg,
exactly,
my arm won't go down. But if I say maybe my name is Dr. Janet Ryan, it will go down.
Exactly. And if you touch, say, the liver or the low back, a strong muscle might go weak, or it might go strong, responding. So it was complicated. But the clinical kinesiology had mudras. What it is you take, there's 144 acupuncture points.
Yeah.
When you connect them, it's like the keys on the keyboard of your computer.
So when you connect, because we're audio, so when you connect.
This is a parasite mode. My thumb is
so it's like you're doing 3 fingers in the middle or up. The pinky is pulled down, and the thumb is on top of the pinky.
This is parasite, this is fungus, this is bacteria, this is virus.
Is that like sign language?
It's totally, it is the body, the beings. Exactly. Sign language. It's so cool.
So cool.
So cool. Now, it was very complicated. What I use now, so simple. What I teach is the same thing I use. It's a much simpler process. Now, I had to get there through unbelievably complicated, unwieldy, manually debilitating processes, to do what I can do now in like 1 minute. It took me maybe an hour at the beginning because it was so complicated. I didn't really know what I was doing. But my clients, I called them patients in those days, a couple of them that I took on because they'd had multiple car accidents and they were just a mess. And they were willing to come in and trudge through me, not knowing what I'm doing.
Right, because you're like, please, right?
After the first time, this one girl said, I don't know what this is, but I want to come in when you can do that again. So I thought, I'm on to something. It has taught me ever since then, and if people learn Kinesiology Simplified, once they get the basics, it will teach them. It'll be mind-blowing what they'll learn and understand and know from kinesiology. So,
well, let me just ask you one question before I'm sorry. So if I say I go to an herbalist or something, right? And she muscle tests me on herself. Is that so? What I mean by that is,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Does
you know what I think?
Does that work? I mean, is it all the same?
I don't see how it could, because
right.
There's no standard that stays the same while the rest of your nervous system splits. So I don't think so. But here's the thing.
Okay, because I don't.
They could get maybe accurate information, but is it a muscle test? No. You have to have two people.
Like I have to touch something or something, right? Or
no. You actually don't. Think about a lemon. Your mouth's going to water, right?
Right, yeah.
That data's there. But you could hold the lemon.
Right.
But to do a muscle response test, you need somebody doing the test and somebody being tested. Right. And that's not always convenient. And if you want to test your dog, how are you going to pull on your dog's leg? They don't understand.
Right.
And I did muscle testing forever. I love it. In fact, it's so much faster, but I have to be in the same room and they have to be laying on the table for me to be really fast. And I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
What I realized was I needed to learn a way to get the same information without having to have another person there.
Right.
And what I knew it would be was dowsing. So one of my friends gave me this big, water.
Find the water thing?
Exactly. It was so
it's like
unwieldy.
A big wishbone?
Yeah. It was like the most unwieldy thing, but I had to learn because people called me on the phone.
Right.
People would bring their grandmother who might be in a coma. They'd ask me about their dog. I had to find a way to get that information without the muscle testing. So I taught myself how to use a pendulum, that thing. I didn't have any hands yet to test that. So what I learned, and I just said, okay, show me how you're going to move when the answer to a yes or no question is a yes, and it went like this.
And so this is an amethyst on a
Isn't this beautiful?
sterling silver.
Sterling
silver. Beautiful. It's
yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. From Belshire in Asheville, North Carolina.
From Asheville?
Nice. And it's tangled, so it's a little. I'm gonna untangle it.
Do you always use the same one?
I don't use a pendulum.
You don't have to anymore.
But I do put my fingers together and actually feel as if there's one there. That is my focal point. You could do it on the belly.
That's like you're a hot.
You could do it any way you want. What matters?
Once you get used to it, or do you start with?
That's why I teach people what I teach, because I think it's the simplest way to master it, and then I don't care what they do after that. Like Garen's
in the room with us.
Hey, Garen. Yeah.
Hey.
Garen, I've never really taught Garen how to do Kinesiology Simplified, but he hears me talking on the phone to people, and he's watched me, and he's just picked it up, and he doesn't use a pendulum either. And my goal with anyone is, this is an amplifier, this is a, training wheels, this is temporary.
Yeah.
It's very concrete, it's so beautiful. But you look weird out and about and at family dinners.
Well, I think, let's go back. So to say the word pendulum, people might be like, whoa.
I know. So, well, they do think.
Right. So there's that aspect. But I'm open to. I don't get.
Well, weird, they don't think the remote control on TV is evil or
it's weird.
It's energy.
It's energy. Yeah. So exactly.
You just like
doorbell.
Just like and just like you get chills, or you get scared and your pupils do weird things. Or,
the pupils are
exactly.
Pupils is.
You could shine a flashlight in somebody's pupils and ask those same questions, but I just find this is the simplest.
So I want to make sure that we have everybody on